Okay, so previously we discussed Section 228. It's all about protesting and assessment. And we will now discuss Section 229. This is all about recovery of tax erroneously or illegally collected. And there is this case, Philippine Guarantee Company versus the CIR. The High Court said a withholding tax agent may maintain a suit for tax refund. What happened here is that the BIR questioned the legal standing of the withholding tax agent who claimed for a tax refund. The, the, the Supreme Court said the withholding tax agent is an agent of the government and also of the taxpayer. So he or she has or it has legal capacity or the legal standing to claim for a fund. So just remember that if there's a question um, asked in the bar, no? And whenever you read Section 229, you cross-read that with Section 204, okay, C, and Section 112. You remember Section 204, this is all about the power of the commissioner to grant or tap, grant for, grant or, to grant, refund or credit taxes. That's Section 204C is the power here. You have 2 years to file a claim in writing. Okay. Now, that's after payment of the tax or penalty. This is all about the power of the commissioner. In Section 229, this is all about the procedure. Okay, let's go there. This one, because it starts with no suit or proceeding shall be maintained in court for the recovery. So you cannot go directly to the courts if you haven't gone through or passed through the BIR. Okay, because it should be filed within 2 years, as provided in Section 204. That's the power of the commissioner. Here, this is all about how the taxpayer would claim the refund. Okay. Now, this Section 229, there's this issue in Mindanao Geothermal Partnership, CIR versus Mindanao Geothermal Partnership, because what was discussed there is the distinction between Section 112 and Section 229. You remember Section 112, this is all about the credit of or refund of excess input VAT credit or input VAT on account of zero rated sales. So what happened here is that the mineral thermal, there are claims. They have these claims, several claims, and some were denied, some were granted because in some of the claim they didn't wait for the 120 days premature filing before the Court of Tax Appeals. If you remember Section 112, San Roque and Aichi changed all of that because prior to Aichi doctrine, there is this revenue memorandum circular by the BIR that the taxpayer um, didn't have to, it's not required to wait for the 120 days. And that was like, I think, from December 2003 to 2010. In the year 2003 to 2010, that was the prevailing rule. And it was changed by Aichi and was clarified in San Roque Doctrine. But the prevailing rule right now is that whenever you claim for a refund on the excess, remember, excess input VAT, it's under Section 112, so long it's under zero rated sale. Okay? You have to wait for the 120 days for the BIR to decide or the denial, because if you go directly to the CTA, if you remember the in Section 112, which I discussed earlier, on the rule, because there would be cases that whenever you file a claim and the 2 year prescriptive period would have already elapsed, because especially if you file your claim near the end, towards the end of the 2 year period, because the BIR would have what, 4 months or 120 days. So that's the kind of void there, because the law says you have to wait for 120 days. You cannot go to the CTA to file an appeal because there is no decision to be appealed from. So this the Mindanao Geothermal said we're not actually, remember this right, they invoke section 229 because they said, well, this is under section 229 because the input VAT was excessively, the the Mindanao Geothermal said it was excessively collected by the government. And the Supreme Court reiterated San Roque because in San Roque, the Supreme Court said the input VAT is not excessively collected, actually, as understood in Section 229. Because why? The input tax is a liability of and legally paid by a VAT registered person at the onset. Okay, there is no excess there. There is no um, illegal collection there, or erroneous collection by the government, because at the time of the payment of the input VAT, it was, unless of course the accountant or the sales clerk nagkamali ra gyud himo nag 20% instead of 12%, then that's erroneous. That's not really illegal, but that's excessive. But 12% it is automatic, especially the system right now. The BIR requires computerized accounting system. So it's programmed at 12%. So at the time of the transaction, there was no excess. It was not erroneous. It was not illegally collected. So Section 229 is not really applicable in this case, especially if the matter involved is the claim of tax refund for input VAT, excess of input VAT on zero rated sale. If you haven't mastered it yet, you have to master it right now on account on section 112. You have to know the rule. You have to master the rule there. Only zero rated sale. I discussed it earlier in section 112 in the other video lectures. So just remember, you just read here the pronouncement by the High Court because, okay, so let's read. From the plain text of Section 229, it is clear that what can be refunded or credited is a tax that is erroneously, illegally, excessively, or in any manner wrongfully collected. In short, there must be a wrongful payment because what is paid, or part of it, is not legally due. As the court held in Mirant, Section 229 should apply only to instances of erroneous payment or illegal collection of internal revenue taxes. Erroneous or wrongful payment includes excessive payment because they all refer to payment of taxes not legally due. Under the VAT system, there is no claim or issue that the excess input VAT is excessively or in any manner wrongfully collected. In fact, if the excess input VAT is excessively collected, tax under Section 229, then the taxpayer claiming to apply such excessively collected input VAT to offset his output VAT may have no legal basis to make such offsetting. Why? Because it was erroneous, it is illegal, or it is excessive. So why would you now offset that with your output VAT? So that's the reasoning of the High Court. The person legally liable to pay the input VAT can claim a refund or credit for such excessively collected tax, and thus there will no longer be any excess input VAT. This will append the present VAT system as we know it. So the mineral geothermal cannot invoke Section 229 in matters of zero rated sale because their claim was where there were several claims. Some were granted, some were denied because the claims were, well, it didn't fit into the, or there was premature filing to the CTA. So you just remember that Section 112 pertains to zero rated sales, excess input VAT on zero rated sales. Section 229, this is all other erroneously, illegally, or excessively collected tax. So that's the distinction there. And what's the other one? Oh, the Section 229. I hope you master Section 112 and Section 229. But just remember this again. If you're not, well, personally, it took me a long time really to understand the decision on the uh, Mindanao geothermal. You just remember, okay, Section 112 is different from Section 229. Okay, just that's it. Section 112 is all about what? Excess input VAT on zero rated sale. You can claim there's a different rule there in Section 112. You cannot claim or you cannot invoke Section 229 when you claim for a refund of zero rated sale or excess input VAT on zero rated sale under Section 229. Okay? Because there are different prescriptive period. Obviously, because in Section 112, you have to file it within 2 years from the close of the taxable quarter from the sales was made. Okay. Now it's different Section 229 because you have to claim for a refund or tax credit within 2 years from the time the tax was paid. Okay. So this is the difference. And in Section 231, this is an interesting case or a provision class because you remember there is no what there is a prohibition on the injunction or to enjoin the collection of taxes. But in Section 231, apparently there is this provision, or it is allowed because if a third party is claiming the seizure of personal property under claim of forfeiture, the owner deciding to contest the validity of the forfeiture may, at any time before sale or the destruction of property, bring an action against the person seizing the property or having possession thereof to recover the same. Upon giving proper ban, may enjoin the sale. You remember this because this is all about the collection of tax forfeiture. Or after the sale and within 6 months, he may bring an action to recover the proceeds realized. So there is this another an interesting provision in the NIRC. Okay, so you just remember this. This is all about it. I think this third party claimant. This is akin to Section 39 of the Rules of Court. Whenever there's the sheriff levies a real property or garnish or whatever, when there's this third party, you just have to execute an affidavit and etc. But this is the same. And it has the effect of enjoining the sale. Okay? So this is one of the exceptions also. And of course, you have to go to the court. Okay, so that's Section 231 for you. Uh, this Section 231 is all about this one. Forfeiture of cash, tax upon set, no, the property. This is all about the chattel. Not really this Section 230. This is about forfeiture of chattel or personal property. Okay, so next we will discuss about compliance requirements, and I think there are just a few of them provisions, and we're through with the NIRC. Okay, but that's it for Section 229 and Section 231.